Hello friends, welcome to Kamath Astrology, and today we will cover one more topic, that is understanding the story and the significance of the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. So in this video I will tell you the story behind the origin of Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. We will also recite the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam and try to understand the meaning of every verse in the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Om Shri Mahalakshmiye Namaha. So we all know that Mahalakshmi is the wife of God Vishnu, or the consort of God Vishnu, and she is the goddess of prosperity and wealth. So praying to goddess Lakshmi daily, and if not daily, at least on Fridays, is said to bring in a lot of prosperity and wealth in the lives of people chanting the mantras of Mahalakshmi. So in this video I am going to explain the significance of something called Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Mahalakshmi Ashtakam comprises of 8 verses, and this stotra was sung by God Indra in praise of goddess Lakshmi when she emerged from the ocean during the Amrit Manthan. Now, with this background in our mind, let us now understand the story behind Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. So, in the Vedic lore, Indra is believed to be the king of demigods, such as fire, air, water, rain, thunder, etc. Now, what happened is Indra used to live in a city called Amravati in the heavens, and at that time he was riding on an elephant called Airavat. Airavat is a white elephant, and Indra was riding on this elephant when suddenly a sage called Durvasa appeared before him. Durvasa looked at Indra and he offered him a garland praising him as the king of Devas. But what Indra did was, he put this garland around the neck of his elephant. The elephant felt irritated. He used his trunk to pull out the garland and threw it on the ground. Now this enraged Durvasa very much, and Durvasa felt that Indra had deliberately put it in the neck of the elephant. So Durvasa is a sage who gets angry very quickly. Durvasa has immense powers because he has done lot of austerities. So Durvasa cursed Indra that just as you have thrown my garland to the earth, may all your Lakshmi vanish. May all your wealth and prosperity start diminishing from now on. Indra asked Durvasa for forgiveness, but Durvasa was very much angry and he simply walked away. Now, as a result of this curse, day by day, the Devas started losing their prosperity and their wealth. And the Asuras, that is the demons, they started becoming more powerful. And one day, the demons attacked heaven and took over the city of Amravati. And Indra and the other demigods had to flee heavens and run away. Indra and the other gods went to their teacher, that is Guru Brihaspati, and Guru Brihaspati told them that only Lord Vishnu can help us in this situation. So all of them went to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu told Indra that you will have to temporarily make up with the Asuras and ask them to churn the ocean jointly with you. When you churn the ocean, different types of riches will come from the ocean, and one of them will be Amrit, which is the nectar of immortality. And if the Devas drink the Amrit, then they will become immortal. Also during the churning of the ocean, goddess Lakshmi will emerge from the ocean. And if Indra is able to please Lakshmi, then his wealth and prosperity will be restored. When Indra went to the king of Asuras, the king of Asuras thought of capturing Indra. But Their guru told him, first listen to our proposal and then do what you want. So Guru Brihaspati then told the Asuras that let us jointly churn the ocean, and when we churn the ocean, Amrit will emerge from the ocean, and if both Devas and Asuras drink the Amrit, they will become immortal. The Asuras gladly agreed to this proposal because they knew that different types of riches would come from the ocean, and they were fascinated and attracted towards these riches. Now, when the churning of the ocean happened, Vishnu first took the form of a tortoise to balance the mountain which was used for churning the ocean. This avatar of Vishnu is known as Kurma Avtara. As the ocean was being churned, different types of riches emerged from the ocean. So the divine horse called Uchaishrava emerged. Dhanvantari, the god of Ayurveda, the god of medicines, emerged from the ocean. Lakshmi emerged from the ocean. When Lakshmi emerged from the ocean, both the Devas and the Asuras were attracted to her. But Lakshmi immediately put a garland around Lord Vishnu's neck, and Lakshmi got married to Lord Vishnu. Indra immediately prayed to God Lakshmi, and he composed 8 verses which are known as Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Lakshmi was immensely pleased on hearing these 8 verses in praise of her, and she blessed Indra that he would again get back all his wealth and prosperity. Indra asked her for few more things. He told her that she should never leave his world, and whoever sings this stotra, which was composed by Indra, he will never suffer from poverty, he will never suffer from the pangs of hunger, and prosperity will always come to him. So if somebody is undergoing financial problems, if there are a lot of problems in your house, if there is a lot of conflict in your family members, in your house, then chanting the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam is said to bring back the peace and prosperity, and also increase your wealth manifold. This is the significance of Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Now I will recite the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam, and later we will try and understand the meaning of every single verse in the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. So the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam is as follows. Namastestu Mahamaye Shri Pithe Surapujite Shankhachakra Gadahaste Mahalakshmi Namostute Namaste Garudarude Kolha Surabhayankari Sarvapapa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Sarvagne Sarvavarade Sarvadushta Bhayankari Sarvadukha Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayini Mantramurte Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Adyantarahite Devi Adya Shakti Maheshwari Yogaje Yoga Sambhutam Mahalakshmi Namostute Stula Sukshma Maharaudre Mahashakti Mahodare Mahapapa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Padmasanastite Devi Parabrahma Swarupini Parameshi Jaganmatah Mahalakshmi Namostute Shvetambharadhare Devi Nana Lankara Bhushite Jagatstite Jaganmatah Mahalakshmi Namostute. Now let us understand the meaning of every single verse which I just recited in the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. So now you can see on the screen the first verse is Namastestu Mahamaye Shri Pithe Surapujite Shankachakra Gadahaste Mahalakshmi Namostute. What does this mean? This means I bow to the goddess Mahalakshmi, who is also known as Mahamaya, who resides in a place called Shri Pit, who holds the conch, the chakra, the gadha in her hands. I bow to goddess Mahalakshmi. This is the meaning of the first verse in the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Now let us look at the second verse. The second verse is Namaste Garuda Rudhe Kola Surabhayankari Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. So we bow to goddess Lakshmi, who rides on the eagle Garuda. Now there was a demon called Kolasur, okay, and Mahalakshmi killed this demon, and this place today is in Maharashtra and it is known as Kolhapur, where there is a famous Mahalakshmi temple. So Kolasur Bhayankari means one who created fear in the heart of Kolasur. Sarva Papa Hare Devi means one who destroys all our sins. Mahalakshmi Namostute means we bow to such a goddess, that is goddess Mahalakshmi. Now let us look at the third verse. The third verse is Sarvagne Sarvavarde Sarvadushta Bhayankari. Sarvagne means one who knows everything, one who is all knowing. Sarvavarde means one who has the capacity to give all kinds of boons. Sarvadushta Bhayankari means one who destroys all the evil people and who appears as fierce to them. Sarva Dukkha Hare Devi means one who destroys all sorrows. Mahalakshmi Namostute means we bow to the goddess Mahalakshmi. So this is the meaning of the third verse in Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Now let us look at the fourth verse. The fourth verse is as follows. Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayini. Siddhi means powers. Buddhi means knowledge. Prade means to give. Okay, so one who gives knowledge and powers. Bhukti Mukti Pradayini, one who gives you all the worldly comforts as well as liberation from the material world. Mantra Murte Sada Devi, one who is always worshipped in the form of mantras. Mahalakshmi Namostute, we bow to such a goddess, that is goddess Mahalakshmi. So this is the meaning of the fourth verse in the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Now let us look at the fifth verse. Adhyantara Hite Devi Adya Shakti Maheshwari. So goddess Lakshmi in Kolhapur is also worshipped as Ambabai, who is considered as an incarnation of goddess Parvati. So this also means the goddess who is without beginning and without end. Yogaje Yoga Sambhute means the goddess who has arisen from yoga and is ever immersed in yoga. Mahalakshmi Namostute means we bow to goddess Mahalakshmi. So this is the meaning of the fifth verse. Now let us look at the sixth verse. Stula Sushma Maharaudre Mahashakti Mahodare. One who is gross, one who is subtle, and one who is also extremely fierce. Mahashakti Mahodare means the great goddess who keeps the whole world in her womb. Mahapapa Hare Devi means one who destroys even the greatest sins. Mahalakshmi Namostute, we bow to such a goddess Lakshmi. So this is the meaning of the sixth verse. Now the seventh verse is a very popular stotra in itself. Padmasana Sthite Devi Parabrahma Swarupini means one who is always seated on a lotus in the Padmasana position. Parabrahma Swarupini means one who is the supreme goddess herself. Parmeshi Jaganmataha, one who is the goddess of this universe. Mahalakshmi Namostute, we bow to such a supreme goddess, that is goddess Mahalakshmi. So this is the meaning of the seventh verse in the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Now let us look at the eighth and the final verse of this stotra. Shvetambara Dare Devi means one who is always wearing white clothes. Nana Lankara Bhushite means one who is having different types of jewels and gems. Jagat Stite Jagan Mataha means one who is present in everything in this universe and who is the mother of this universe. Mahalakshmi Namostute. We bow to Goddess Mahalakshmi. These 8 verses together constitute the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam, and chanting the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam every day is said to remove all kind of sorrows, all kind of difficulties, and bring in wealth, prosperity and happiness in the lives of people who chant it. So there is also a verse 9, 10 and 11 which tells the fruits of chanting Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. So this 9th verse which you see on the screen, that tells us the fruits of chanting Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. So it says that one who reads the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam and chants it with devotion, he will get complete success and everlasting prosperity. This is the meaning of the 9th verse which you see on the screen. Now look at the 10th verse. What does this say? Eka kale pathe nityam mahapapa vinashanam. Means if you chant it once, all the sins are destroyed. Even the greatest sins are destroyed. Dvikalam yat pathet nityam dhana dhanya samanvite. Mahalakshmi Namostute. If you chant it twice, you will get all kinds of prosperities such as wealth, food, and there will never be any shortage of food and wealth. So now look at the last verse, that is the verse 11, which tells the final fruit. So what this verse says is, Trikalam yat pathet nityam mahashatru vinashanam. What does this mean is, if you chant this Mahalakshmi Ashtakam thrice a day, it will destroy all your enemies. Even the greatest enemy will be destroyed. And Mahalakshmi will be greatly pleased with you. And she will give you all kinds of boons and blessings. So in summary, chanting the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam every day brings you great wealth, prosperity. It destroys all kinds of sorrows in your life. So friends, if you like this video, please mark it as liked on YouTube. If you need any consultation, please email us at astrosevaworld@yahoo.com. If you have not subscribed to our channel, do so by clicking the subscribe button and you will be notified when we add a new video. If you want to know more about us, visit our website astroseva.tripod.com. So friends, thanks a lot. We'll see you soon with another video. Till then, bye. Take care. Stay safe.